Yep.
Kansas missing and unsolved. Kansas missing and unsolved. Kansas missing and unsolved. Kansas missing and unsolved.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Kmu Live Podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Tabruggi, and joining me down there in Hugoton is Derek Relaford. How you doing, Derek?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
Trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it's getting a little chilly outside here.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay during the day, but at night, oh my goodness.
Yeah, winter's coming, man. It's gonna
Oh,
be
man. I know.
it's gonna be lame for sure.
Yep, for sure. Be cold. Hopefully, I can do with snow, but I can't do with the ice very well.
There's been in the missing mom case, the two ladies that were missing from Hugoton,
Oh, yeah.
three of the five have basically pled no contest. I think in exchange for some favors. I think maybe lighter sentences and maybe removing the death penalty from the table. And then the other two guys, Tad Colum and Cole, they both today pled not guilty. One of them pled not guilty. The other one, I guess, didn't say anything. So the judge put in a plea of not guilty. And then also London Valdez, who was missing from Hooker. We interviewed her mom on this show a few weeks ago. They made an arrest in that case, which I think is crazy. Like, I mean, I'm so glad it happened. But like, I'm kind of proud of Oklahoma, man. Like the missing moms thing, London Valdez, there's an arrest. People magazine actually talked about London's case today on the internet. So
I think they charged him with second-degree murder, I think is what I read.
From what I see, like the whole London situation, what I think, I don't know anything, but what I think could happen is her death might actually bring some serious change to this part of the country. I think that you might start seeing people getting charged, with murder for supplying, or putting a drug into a minor or supplying a drug to that's I don't think that, again, like we interviewed her mom. I don't think it was a situation where London took the chemical on her own accord. It sounds like it was, she was maybe forced to take it. But say that she did, let's say it's a different scenario. Some girl is just, giving into peer pressure, and some person that's over, it's an adult, gives them a substance and it kills them. I'm somebody that thinks that person's a murderer. Like, you shouldn't be giving chemicals to kids. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be putting any kind of drug into a kid's body. So I think, I think it's awesome that they made an arrest. I hope they it sounds like, from what Brittany was saying, her mom, and I've talked to her grandma on the phone this weekend, London's grandma. From the sounds of it, there's some more arrests that maybe the family want. That there's a lot of people think there should be some more arrests. There's other people involved. And again, like it's really great to hear that there's been an arrest and there's actually going to be some changes made from, the situation. But at the end of the day, like, London's gone. The missing moms, they're gone. Like, it's hard to look at anything as a win and to celebrate a win whenever, nothing's going to bring those people back. But that being said, I do think it's amazing that they have made an arrest in that case. And I think it's great that I think that, people that are out there selling drugs or giving drugs to people, maybe they should have a little voice in their head that says, is this worth going to prison for murder if this person dies, And I think that might slow down the amount of chemicals being handed out to kids like candy at the end of the day.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, it's not good, man. Me and Norm were talking about it just a little bit ago. I think if you give drugs to a kid, you're not cool. You're not cool.
Yeah. Quick update on me real quick. I had another appointment at the doctor's office to do another blood draw on Monday. Have a follow-up on that tomorrow afternoon. I'll check a long lunch to do that. To see what's going on with my blood, and then I have to do some dental work over here, and then I can get the surgery rescheduled. So Still have to have the surgery. It's just got to get all these other things taken care of before the surgery can happen now. So just trying to get all that tied up. So
you should know more tomorrow as far as like when they're gonna the tooth. I know you have to your scheduling thing as far as your dental work, but as far as your I think again, like you and me were talking off air the other night. I think the main reason they halted it is if your blood's having any kind of clotting issue. Like,
yeah, that's the issue with mine. It's not
safe.
clotting the way it should, and I think it's because of the baby aspirin my primary doctor's been having me take in case my heart should go AFib again to keep it from clotting, which I haven't had an AFib issue since 2017, and that was the second time.
Yeah.
So, but it's just preventive. But the doctor at the oncology office, he had me stop taking it 2 weeks ago, and I did one blood draw. Oh my god! No, he probably had me stop taking it 3 weeks ago, because 2 weeks ago I went and had the blood draw last week. They told me they wanted me to go ahead and do another one. Actually, it was confusing because the nurse I talked to said she needed to get with the doctor again and see that whether or not she could tell me everything was okay. And then she said she'd call me back an hour and a half. Never did. Got a call the next day from another doctor that works with the original oncologist I talked to. Wants me to come back to do the blood draw Monday, which I did. And then, like I said, tomorrow I'll go for a follow-up. So one thing after another.
Yeah.
So Christopher's in the house, Ellen Dotson's in the house, and Ray's in the house. How you guys doing tonight? Be sure everybody's sharing the show out and let everybody know we're here and we're live and we're getting ready to cover some cases here pretty soon.
We're going to cover some cases. What's that?
Went light on the cold cases because there's a lot of missing teens on the show tonight. The last 2 or 3 days, I've done a lot of missing teens. So we're going to have a lot of those to talk about tonight.
It seems like we've been doing this show for almost 6 years. It seems like right when the weather gets the cold, like it starts to get cold and where you don't want to be outside, it seems like there is an uptick in missing teens. Like,
right.
And every year I'm always like, this would be the worst time to be, not at home. It's like nasty. It's not even nasty yet, but it's not going to get warm anytime soon, I don't think.
Yeah. Then I'll be doing another flyer for another teen as soon as we get done with the show tonight. That I noticed right before we went on, I was tagged in a post and I went and checked it out, and so I'm gonna have to do a flyer for her. So that's fine. I'll do them. My bad habit though is I try to get myself to bed earlier in the evening for my own self, my rest and stuff, and and when I have flyers too, it's like, okay, I just wanted to do this one more. Next thing I know, it's midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm finally getting to bed. And it's like, I got to stop that. Yeah. But I always want to get that one more done. I always have to get that one more made. It's just my mindset, I guess. But anyway, let's get to cases here. We're going to start off with Lori Heimer. It's an unsolved homicide from Assyria, Kansas. She was brutally stabbed to death in her home in rural Assyria, Kansas. On June 25th, 2016, she ran her business, Lori's Poodle Patch, from her home. She was a licensed breeder of miniature-sized poodles and was licensed through the state of Kansas. KBI was contacted to assist Saline County sheriffs in the investigation. They responded with agents on their crime scene response team, and during the investigation, 2 vehicles of interest were developed. Vehicle 1 was said to be an older flatbed pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet, which is described as beat up, maroon in color, with a white front bumper, silver grille, and wide-style side mirrors. Driver was described as a man who was 50 years of age or older with salt and pepper hair. Vehicle number 2 was an older style small pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet S10 with a 2-tone paint job, dark blue on the top and the bottom with light blue down the middle, a silverback bumper, and a newer blue tailgate that appeared to have minimal damage when compared to the body of the truck. The remainder of the vehicle is described as beat up and scratched up. There may have been 2 small animal cages or crates in the back. The driver of the second vehicle was described as a male, approximately 40 years of age, with shoulder-length hair and wearing glasses. Investigators have said they would like to locate these 2 vehicles. They would also like to speak to anyone that had any contact or a business appointment with Lori at any time between June 20th and 25th, 2016. If you have any information regarding the homicide of Lori J. Heimer, please call the Saline County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-826-6500. or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. And there is a reward of $37,500 available for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Lori's murder. So if you have any information, I'd say this. I think every week we cover. I say this: no matter how small you think it might be, or how unimportant, or how insignificant, get it called in and let the investigators decide whether it's something they really need or not. Because it could be something that might blow this thing wide open. You never know. So please get.
$37,000 reward's pretty. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
That Chance Engelbert or whatever that was in Nebraska.
Yeah.
His reward was over 100,000. I remember. Have you been
Yeah,
following that? It looks like they found a skull. It's very similar to the Kenny Rychek situation. They found a skull, and then they also found near the skull they found some of Chance's belongings. But his parents made a post, or his family made a post saying like, "Hey, there hasn't been any kind of medical testing to prove this is Chance's remains." But like they did say that the some of his like his wallet and I think some other stuff that was and I guess they said it wasn't terribly far. It wasn't terribly far from where he was last seen on the but I don't know, man. There's a lot of these cases that just have these humongous rewards and stuff,
Right. Mary's asking how she can get a better image. Too small. Are you referring to the flyer on the screen? Yeah, it is kind of small on the screen. Yeah, I do have a Facebook page called Kansas Missing and Unsolved Kansas Missing and Unsolved Homicides. And Lori's flyer's on there. If you click on the photos and then click on albums, there's one album called Cold Case Playing Cards. That flyer is in that folder. And the reason being is because you see down the lower right-hand corner of that 5 of Diamonds card, Department of Corrections came out with the cold case playing card deck, and her case is one of the cards in that deck, and I made flyers for all 52 cases in that deck. So they're all in one folder. And each of them has the playing card in the lower right-hand corner of the flyer.
What year did you guys do those cards?
Man, it's been 2-3 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know the Department of Corrections Facebook is still sharing the card with the flyer currently on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
This is still doing it.
If you go to Ricky's YouTube page, Ricky Chabruggi, Kansas Missing and Unsolved, you can see the documentary that I made about his endeavors. Probably in May, I think I made that. But we did go we went to several crime scenes in the Salina area. We went to this one.
Yeah.
And, it's very secluded. Like it's out there. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we didn't stop, but we drove out there, and it's out there, and it's pretty secluded. I mean, there's, the nearest neighbor is way down the road and stuff like that. So, I mean, a very isolated location to commit a crime like this.
Yeah, and like I grew up in Elkhart, but like I used to go stay at my grandma's house, and she lived out in the country near like kind of by Johnson, Big Bow area of Kansas. And anytime anybody would pull up out there, like you're just like, how did you find this place? It's out in the middle of nowhere. You almost have to know how to get to some places like this. So that's just one thing I noticed. You took me to a lot of crime scenes, and this one was just like, man, you'd almost like to have to know where you were going to get to this place. It's way the heck out there. Haley Davis, any updates on the Haley Davis situation at all? Or?
I haven't heard a thing. I would like to hear something. I was going to show something real fast pertaining to Lori Heimer's case here. This is an aerial view, real quick here, of where her house is. And right there where the red dot is the location of her house. And you can see a lot of field.
Yeah.
So it's pretty desolate out there.
I mean, that seemed like there was a few like other houses, but none of them were super close. Like it was very desolate. It was very out in the middle of nowhere. Like to me, like you would just have to know where you were going to get out there.
Yeah, we were on the road that's going from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen to the left of the house is where we were driving up and drove up and back. And then you can see there's a neighbor just up the road and on the opposite side. And I'm not sure if that's a neighbor back to the bottom right, but yeah, it's pretty out there.
Yeah,
No.
it's out there, man.
Okay.
It's a really nice spot. It's a beautiful, part of America, but
Yeah,
some
it is. It's really
horrible
pretty
stuff
out
happened
there.
there for sure.
Getting back to Haley, I haven't heard anything. I did forward on a few weeks ago that post that was brought to my attention about supposedly somebody and an accomplice unaliving her in their home, and gave the address and the post and everything, and I forwarded that on and was informed that they'd already known about it. So somebody forwarded it on ahead of me, I guess, which is okay. I'm glad they did, because you never know.
Right.
I mean, it might have just been a prank type thing, or maybe even a swatting type thing. I don't know, but could be legit too. You never know. It never hurts to turn it in just so they can check into it and see if there's any legitimacy to it, because you just never know. I mean,
Well, in the AJ Perez case, that one chick wrote that stuff on Snapchat, and
yeah,
I mean, looking back, like it's like maybe there was some truth to what that chick said.
might be. There might be, because they haven't found his body yet,
But
so there may be.
from what I understand, it looks like that Oscar guy did get because you said they took him off of a missing person, right?
Yeah, he's not on KBI anymore.
And it's not listed as like an unsolved crime or anything. It's just
I'll have to check that into it. I haven't looked into that part of KBI yet to see if they've
from
got
what
it
I
listed.
from what I understand, like that Oscar guy was convicted of it, but like you'd think that would have been in the news or something. But
You would have.
my source didn't even say anything about him going to jail for it. Like so,
I've left his flyers up because until they find
him.
his remains, I don't want to take
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
So I mean, anyway, let's get back to Haley Davis here. She's missing from Salina, Kansas since July 21st, 2023. She was 19 when she went missing. She's now 21. She's 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. She left here in Salina with a male acquaintance to go to Wichita, Kansas. She was last active on her social media and last heard from on July 21st of 2023. Wichita police say the investigation has led them to believe that Haley may be deceased. Again, when she went missing, she's 19. She's now 21. 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance, or you know of her whereabouts or the location of her remains, please call Detective Owen at 316-268-4185, or you can email Detective Owens at aowen@wichita.gov. To remain anonymous, you can call Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111, or KBI at 785-296-4017, or 1-800-572-7463. Where you can scan that handy dandy little Crime Stoppers QR code down there, and it takes you to a form on the website. You can submit your tip anonymously that way as well. And I do want to point out a couple things. The Wichita's numbers are on here because Wichita's now heading up the case, so everything's going through Wichita now. And I think that's primarily because she was last known to be going to Wichita. But I was also informed from a reliable source that Salina PD apparently has figured they've investigated everything they can. So that was another reason it was taken to Wichita. And on the flyer where it says Wichita police say that the investigations led them to believe she was deceased, and then the part where the contact information is, where the part about or the location of her remains, that was all in a post the Wichita Police Department did put on their Facebook page after they took over the case. So hopefully we can help get her located. Again, like I say, if you have any information at all, no matter how small, get it called in and let them decide whether that it's something they need or it's something they already have, or, because it could be something that could just blow the case open and really put some pieces together that they need. So let's do what we can to help that.
Yeah, I've and also I know that some people you don't want to call. You might know something and you don't want anything to do with this. You don't want. If you call that Crime Stoppers, what happens is they ask you to give them the tip, obviously, of what you know about said crime, and then at the end of the call they say, "Okay, you can hang up, if your tip leads to something like some type of a reward, obviously we need to know who to give the reward to. So if you want to give us your name and number, but you can just hang it. So like if you don't want anything to do with it, including like reward or recognition or anything, you can call Crime Stoppers, tell them the tip, and then they're cool with you just hanging up and never calling back. Like they would love to have some information if you have it. So that's a really good way for anybody that wants to turn in a tip to law enforcement, but they don't want anything to do with, being involved when it for safety reasons, because they don't want to be considered a narc, whatever the reason is. Yeah, you can just call Crime Stoppers and they won't ask you for your name if you don't want the reward.
And I've even had people send information to me and ask me to forward it anonymously for them, because I guess they feel more comfortable with having me do it than them doing it. So I've done that too. So, and I don't have a problem doing that for anybody that has pertinent information. And this one here, another unsolved homicide. This is a sad one. This is Jamie Hernandez Zubia. She's 13 years old when she ran away from home, her foster home, in Wathena, Kansas on June 9, 2012. Prior to her disappearance, she'd been prosecuted in a juvenile court for drug possession. She was due in court for her sentencing shortly after her disappearance. Jamie never showed up and has never been seen by her foster family again. There was unfortunately very little media coverage on Jamie's disappearance, likely due to her runaway status, which sadly that is true. 3 years later, during the early morning hours, May 30th of 2015, a Kansas City resident called to report a shootout on the 2500 block of Ridge Avenue. According to the witness, two vehicles fired shots at each other, and a female passenger in one of the vehicles was killed as a result. The female passenger's body was dumped on the side of the road, and the vehicles drove off before the police arrived. 2 days later, on June 1st, 2015, authorities announced that the slain female was identified as Jamie Hernandez Zubia. The identity of Jamie's killer remains unknown, as does the identity of the driver in the car Jamie was riding in when she was shot. Additionally, Jamie's whereabouts from June 2012 through May 2015 still remain a mystery. Although she was ultimately found in Kansas City, it is unknown where she stayed or how she survived during those 3 years. Investigators said they received a tip that Jamie was in Kansas City back in 2013, but when they followed said lead, they were unable to find her. On the night of July 2nd, 2015, one of the vehicles involved in the crime was found abandoned by the Kansas City Police Department. The vehicle was described as a white late 1990s or early 2000s Ford F-150 pickup truck with flared sides, tinted windows, 20-inch chrome rims, and maybe a bullet hole in its tailgate. A touchscreen device was found inside the cab, but it is unclear what was inside the device and if any of it was relevant to Jamie. If you have any information regarding Jamie's murder, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the Wathena, Kansas Police Department at 785-989-4521. Or you can call KBI at 1-800-572-7463. Or you can scan the QR code that says "Say It Here," and that'll take you to that form on their website where you can submit your information anonymously that way as well. And see what we can do to help get some justice for Jamie and her family. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, she was 13 when she ran away, 16 when they found her dead. Let's just see what we can do to help get her found, just like with all these other teens that we cover week after week, even though they're teens, even though they're considered runaways, they still deserve to be found and brought back to a safe place. I mean, I can tell you, since I started doing Kansas Missing and Unsolved, what's it been now, 13 years, over 13 and a half years, that I know of at least 9 young ladies that when they were found were being actively trafficked. I mean, it's a sad fact, but it is true. So it's just crazy.
Yeah. A lot of really bad people out there.
And Mary, if you're asking about Jamie, she was 13 when she went missing, and she was 16 when she was found deceased on the side of the road after she was shot.
There's a lot of just crappy people out there. I just found out this morning, a while ago, like 2023, a good friend of mine who's my age, 42, so he would have been probably 41, tried to get my 16-year-old niece to cuddle with him. after one of my band's gigs. I just found out about it today. Luckily, she
Really?
got out of there.
Wow.
But she had ended up at his hotel room thinking it was safe because he was like friends of her parents and and uncle and stuff, and they hung out, and then he asked her if she wanted to cuddle, and she was like, yikes. And this is somebody like I was like, no way, but yeah, one of my favorite friends is a disgusting pig. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I made a thing that don't trust anybody, not your brother, not your cousin, not your preacher. Don't trust anybody. Every human being is capable of being really, really, really dark in a quick second. Just trust your instincts. If your gut says, "Hey, this is weird," get the heck out of there.
Definitely.
Get out of there.
Definitely. That's crazy.
Yeah, just all kinds of just really weak men. Just like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah. And we are getting ready to come up on the anniversary of Kyle Neugebauer's disappearance. He went missing from Wichita, Kansas on December 17th, 2024. He was 26 when he went missing. He's now 27. Went missing about 10:30 p.m. that night. His last seen near 143rd and Highway 254 in Wichita. Again, he was 26 when he went missing. He's now 27, 6 foot tall, 155 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Has a tattoo of the date 11/16/2018 on his inner left forearm. You can see it pictured down there at the bottom there. His last seen wearing a black Carhartt jacket, jogging pants, and tennis shoes. If you have any information regarding Kyle's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181 or 316-268-4111 or 316-263-6011. Or the KBI is 785-296-4017. And see what we can do to get Kyle located and back to where he needs to be. And again, I encourage anybody who has any information at all, get it called in, please. Getting pretty close, almost a little over a month away from his anniversary of his disappearance.
Yeah.
Maybe a year.
It's not good when they hit the year mark. Ricky says we have quite a few missing teen cases tonight. We're going to go ahead and get started on them.
Yeah, last couple nights I've done a lot of flyers, and some of them I've wanted to recover, like Kmu. I'm covering her again because, again, I've mentioned this before. Her mom was a former foster daughter of mine back in the day, about 20 years ago. But Kmu's missing from Bel Air, Kansas since October 29, 2025. She's 14, 5'3", 140 pounds. Hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde and hazel eyes. I did get some information on possible whereabouts for her that I turned over to law enforcement, so hopefully that'll help. But if you have any information regarding Kmu's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Bel Air, Kansas Police Department at 316-744-6000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. So we can do to get Kmu located and back to where she needs to be, because I think we're officially at a week now. Yeah, we are at a week. She's been missing a week. So see what we can do to get her located. I did have a chance to find out a little bit more on Kmu. Apparently, this whole thing started with her over her mom taking herself on as a punishment for behaviors, and that's what started this whole thing with her repetitively running. And she got nailed for truancy, and that ended her up in foster care, and she still continues to run. And so let's see if we can get her found back to where she needs to be. And Ray is saying, thank you so much for sharing Kyle Neugebauer's flyer. I'm so very thankful and grateful for all you do. You're very welcome, Ray. Trying to help you get him found. We're doing our best. And this one is Tess Jantz. And I know she's hiding on my screen somewhere. I just got to find her. And this list, it's a long list. taking me a little bit here.
A lot of flyers.
A lot of them. Oh my goodness. I know she's hiding in here somewhere. Okay. She's been missing for quite a little while, too. Missing from Wichita, Kansas since December 3rd of 2024. So again, we're getting close to a year with her as well. 16 years old, 5'1", 100 to 110 pounds, blonde hair, hazel eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Tessa's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can get Tess located and back to where she needs to be. And hopefully we can do that.
Yeah.
Because it's getting close to a year. And this one's Rihanna Greer. I know we covered her last week, but I wanted to cover her again because it's been a little while. Missing from Iola, Kansas since July 26th of this year. So it's been a few months now. She's 17, 5 foot tall, 90 pounds, brown hair, green eyes. I believe she may still be in the local Iola area, or she may be in the Wichita area. She may also be in the Topeka area as well. Not real sure. Again, she's 17, 5 foot tall, 90 pounds, brown hair, green eyes. If you have any information regarding Rihanna's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Allen County, Kansas 911 Communications Center at 620-365-1437 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And so we can do to get Rihanna located and back to where she needs to be. And I noticed today that the Allen County Sheriff's Office is actually sharing Rihanna's flyer on their Facebook as well. So thank you to Allen County Sheriff's Office for that. Appreciate that. And Destiny MacArthur. Missing from Wichita, Kansas as well since November 3rd of this year. A couple days. I'm 17 years old, 5'8" to 5'11", 190 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Don't have much more than that. If you have any information regarding Destiny's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department, 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Destiny located and back to where she needs to be. And Tiavani Williams, missing from Kansas City, Kansas since November 1st, 2025. She's 16, 5'1" to 5'2", 135 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Tiavani's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Tiavani located and back to where she needs to be. And this is Khadijah Beaver. Khadijah. I hope I'm saying that right. She is missing from Wichita, Kansas since November 3rd, 2025. She's 17, 5'9", 170 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Don't have much more than that. If you have any information regarding Khadijah's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can get Khadijah located and back to where she needs to be.
Lots of teens tonight, man.
Mm-hmm. And this one is Brianna Marie Russell. And I know she's in my list here. There she is. Yeah, also known as Brianna Marie West, missing from Great Bend, Kansas since October 26, 2025. She's 17, 5'8", 170 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Brianna's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Great Bend, Kansas Police Department at 620-793-4120 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Brianna located and back to where she needs to be. I did see comments on her flyer saying she's trying to remain hidden until she's 18 and can age out of foster care, which Brianna, if you're watching this or if somebody that knows her is watching this, if she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing and following what she's supposed to be following in foster care, they can keep you in there until you're 21. So you might want to rethink your thought process a little bit unless you want to stay in foster care until you're 21.
Yeah, that's. I was getting ready to prompt you to say that because you would think like if you're a foster kid that just 18, you just walk away like, well, I'm just an adult now. But yeah, you're right though. They can hold you up till you're 21.
Yeah,
not good.
And I've gotten verification on that, so I know that's accurate. So,
Karma Williams.
Yeah. She's missing from Goddard, Kansas since September 26, 2025. She's 17, 5'1", 100 pounds, blonde or strawberry hair and blue eyes. It's believed she may still be in the local Goddard area or she may travel to other cities in Kansas. I'm not sure which ones. Karma, again, she's 17, 5'1", 100 pounds, blonde or strawberry hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Karma's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedgwick County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can get Karma located and back to where she needs to be. Excuse me.
Rick, read this flyer. I'm going to go look out my side. I think I hear something outside. I'm just going to check it, but I'll be back in like 2 seconds. But go ahead.
Sure. This is Jasir Johnson, missing from Douglas County, Kansas, since October 21st, 2025. He's 16, 5'5", 160 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. If you recall, we recovered him last year, but last week. And the picture I had last week, his braids or dreads were, for the most part, covering about 75-80% of his face. And I was sent this picture to use in its place, so I put it on here. But if you have any information regarding Jasir's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Douglas County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-843-0250 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Jasir located and back to where he needs to be. And while we're...
I'm going to put the next slide up here. There's a car outside of my house. It's just like acting funny. I think maybe somebody's having
I don't know if he muted his mic or what, but I can still kind of hear him a little bit.
No, I'm here. I'm going to put your next flyer on. There's a car outside of my house and it's acting really weird. I think somebody might be having like a medical emergency. I'm going to have Steph check it out. I'm going to put your next flyer up. I'll be right here.
Okay. Okay. This is Adriana Godfrey. This one I did last night. She is missing from Topeka, Kansas since October 28th, 2025. 14 years old, 5'6", 130 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. I don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Adriana's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9551 or 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Adriana located and back to where she needs to be. Yeah, I can go ahead and take care of the flyer switch while he's taking care of that. This is Bella Black, missing from Wichita, Kansas since November 2nd, 2025. 17 years old, 5'5", 175 pounds, dark brown, black hair, brown eyes. She does have some mental health concerns. Again, she's 17, 5'5", 175 pounds, dark brown, black hair, and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Bella's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Bella located and back to where she needs to be.
Wow.
Everything all right on your end?
Not to get I've had my mic muted. I'm on my I've been at the police station a couple times in the last couple weeks because there's been some I've told you about some people like coming to my house, and
Yeah.
this morning like was the third or fourth time this guy, he's like 26, I don't know, I know his first name, that's all I know. His thing is he sees me in public and he starts yelling from wherever he is, and he follows me around stores yelling. And I found out from the police here in town that that's not illegal to do that. So I just have to deal with it. But that guy came to my house like a few weeks ago and like ran up on my wife and kid while they were in our alley. So we live out like in the middle of nowhere. So anytime there's a car that comes out here, it kind of weirds me out. And then this one was just like, I could just hear, ooh, ooh, ooh. So Stephanie just kind of went and looked, but we're going to kind of keep an eye on it. But yeah, there's just like a VW bug out here that.
It's not that guy.
That guy again. He's one of two grown men that have found out where I lived in the country and come and sat outside of my house to let me know that they were there. But yeah, I just want to. This is a new. This has got to be like a new person. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. Have you read Alexandra's flyer yet?
I read Bella Black, so this is the next one up. Yeah, Alexandria.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm right here.
Okay, this is Alexandra Smith, missing from Wichita, Kansas since July 6, 2025. She's 16 years old, 5'3", 103 pounds, brown hair that was last known to be dyed black, and blue eyes. Family member found her bedroom window was left open and she was gone. She does have some serious medical conditions and some mental health concerns and is without any of her medication for these conditions. And she's 16, 5'3", 103 pounds, brown hair that was last known to be dyed black, and blue eyes. She does have nose ring piercings in each nostril. If you have any information regarding Alexandra's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9254 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And see what we can do to get Alexandra located and back to where she needs to be. Wow. It's been a little while since July.
Freeman Compton. That's a cool name.
Yeah, we covered him before, and he was located and went missing almost immediately. So, yeah. Let's see if I can find him here. He's missing from Wichita, Kansas since November 3rd, 2025. 16 years old, 5'6", 133 pounds, blonde hair, green or hazel eyes. He does have severe health conditions that require medication that he does not have with him. He has ties to Wichita, Iola, Chanute, and Topeka. And if you recall the last flyer, he was missing from Topeka. So now he's missing from Wichita. If you have any information regarding Freeman's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And so we can do to get Fremont located and back to where he needs to be. Yep.
Hunter
Biesterfeld is what I'm. That's what my stab at it would be with Biesterfeld. I just did him today. That's a new one for me. I've never done a flyer for him before, but he's missing from Great Bend, Kansas since November 4th, 2025. He's 17, 6'1", 230 pounds, reddish brown hair and blue eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Hunter's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Great Bend, Kansas Police Department at 620-793-4120 or KBI at 785-296-4017. Yeah, so we can do to get Hunter located and back to where he needs to be. Yeah, good evening, Esther. How are you doing?
Esther's in the house.
Yeah.
Out of state cases. Is it just how's the Missouri missing and unsolved page been going? You've been staying pretty busy over there still, or?
Not too bad. I haven't really had much activity on it, but I'm trying to keep up with it as best I can.
Have you run
and
across
everything else.
anybody else doing like states like you do? This car is just going in circles around my house.
Oh my goodness.
Have you run into any other pages that are kind of trying to do what you're doing, like in other states? Or?
Yeah, there was one back east I ran into that was I can't think of what state it was, but it was whatever the state was and missing and unsolved. And I thought, oh, okay. So somebody's doing some that are based. I don't know if it's based on Kansas missing and unsolved or what, but I think it's cool. It's always good to see missing persons pages out there trying to help get the word out and stuff like that.
You would think there'd be a
I like
lot.
it.
There's so Kansas is actually kind of low on the amount of missing people compared to some of the other states. Like there's so many missing people.
Oh, I know. And I think one that would be very, very difficult to do would be Illinois because there are so many missing persons cases and so many unsolved homicides in Illinois, especially in the Chicago area. That would be, you'd have to have one page just for Chicago by itself. I would think, man, that'd be something else. But this is Jeremiah Demetrius Moneta, missing from Ponca City, Oklahoma since January 17th, 2025. So coming up on 10 months. Was 22 when he went missing, is now 23. 5'9", 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. His bank account's not been touched, and his apartment has showed no signs of disturbance. Jeremiah's cell phone was found in somebody else's possession, and his asthma inhaler was found on a stranger's porch, which family says he never leaves that inhaler anywhere behind. Again, when he went missing, he was 22. He's now 23. 5'9", weighs 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He does sometimes have facial hair, and he has a Playboy bunny tattoo on his shoulder blade. He was last seen wearing a Kansas City Chiefs hoodie, jeans, and work boots. I'm guessing that's the Chiefs hoodie he was last seen wearing, the gray with the stripes down the sleeves there. If you have any information regarding Jeremiah's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Ponca City, Oklahoma Police Department at 580-767-0370 or call the anonymous tip line at 580-762-5100. Anybody wanting to send an anonymous tip online, you can go to the website there, tipsubmit.com /webtips.aspx !agency ID equals 496. I wish it was a little bit simpler than that, but that's what it is. And you can fill out the tip sheet there and send your information that way. You can also text the Ponca City Police Department plus your message to crimes 274-637 from your cell phone, or you can email your information to crimestoppers@poncacityoK.gov and see what we can do to help get Jeremiah located and back to his family. I have had an occasion to speak with his mom before, and I know she really wants to get him found. So just a very perplexing case with somebody else having his phone and his inhaler on a stranger's porch. Yeah, Molly, I saw the tag. I was tagged in that post for Linnea Bolin. I'm going to be making a flyer for her as soon as I get done with the show tonight. So she's a Native American female, 15 years old, 5'5", 160 pounds, black eyes. Black hair, brown eyes. Sorry, I was misreading that. Let's see. She ran from her foster care located in Topeka in the early morning hours of October 31st around 2 o'clock in the morning. She has not been seen or heard from directly since then. Although her current location is unknown, recent activity on her cell phone suggests her phone and app usage, and then it cuts off on your comment. Let me see if I can, it cuts off your comment. So you can see where it cuts it off right there on her phone, and app usage suggests she. And I'd have to go to the Facebook page to actually see the rest of your comment. Actually, I can do one better. Hang on a minute. Let's see here. Come on. I have the tab open where the post is that I was tagged. It says, although her current location is unknown, recent activity on her phone and app usage suggests she may be in Topeka. It's possible she may be with friends or individuals she met online. Her family, friends, and community are deeply worried about her safety and well-being. She is a member of the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation, and the Prairie Band Potawatomi Tribal Police Department is actively investigating her disappearance. Keep an eye out for anyone matching her description and report any possible sightings or information immediately. Even the smallest tip could help bring her home safely. If you have any information, you can call Prairie Band Potawatomi Tribal Police at 785-966-3024. KBI has her report listed as being from the Topeka, Kansas Police Department, and that one is 75836. Hang on a minute, I got it right here. 785-368-9200. So you can call either or both to report any information on Linnea that you might have. And again, I will have her flyer made as soon as I get done with the show this evening. So bear with me on that, and I will make sure I get that done. Okay, and this is Dana Jane Bruce, missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th, 2008. Was 23 when she went missing. She's now 40. 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair, green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia, Missouri. She left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. She was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with that man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man she was with that night. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Dana after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her again after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She does not have credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, when she went missing, she was 23. She's now 40. 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair that was colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel in silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. She has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100, and the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or toll free at 866-362-6422, or you can call Private Investigator Leslie at 910-427-0070. And see what we can do to help get Dana located and back to where she needs to be. Again, I know her family is really wanting to find her and bring her home. And if she's no longer with us, at least be able to lay her to rest properly so they have a place to mourn her. So let's see what we can do to help that along. Again, no piece of information is too small. You know, you can get it called in or call Crime Stoppers and anonymously submit it that way or whatever you need to do.
100%. Yeah. Again, the Crime Stoppers thing, like they will only ask your name if there's like a reward attached to the case you're calling in, and if you want like access to that reward, that's the only thing. Like that's the only way they'll ask your name.
Ouch. I had to adjust myself. Sitting too long was a little painful.
That's your last flyer, right? That's our last one.
Yeah, that was the last one. We had a really heavy load of teenagers, which is fine. I have no problem with that. I've got to get them found and back where they need to be.
It seems like when it gets cold outside, there's always like an influx and like
something
missing
I don't
teens.
know. Either like that or it's in the water. I don't know.
Yeah. So your Facebook page, Kansas Missing and Unsolved. You're on YouTube.
Yep.
I always want to I'm going to send out a message real quick from your YouTube page so people can see it, so they can go follow you. Facebook, you got like 90,000 followers on Facebook, but I don't think they tell anybody you're live. You don't get a ton of, but anybody that watches the replay right there, Ricky Chabruggy - Kansas Missing and Unsolved with his YouTube page. This is where he sends the show here to his personal Facebook page and also to his Kansas Missing and Unsolved page. But the YouTube one, you're probably going to get the best notification and all that kind of stuff. If you want to keep up with the show every week, follow Ricky's YouTube page and you'll be able to tune into that stuff.
And Ellen Dodson saying, thank you for all you do, and you're very welcome, Ellen. And for those of you that may not know, she is actually Dana Bruce's aunt. So she tunes in every week and watches the show. Very appreciative of everybody that tunes in and watches the show.
Yeah.
Just got to get it out there and shared, and let everybody know we're here doing what we need to do. And where did everything go? Oh, there it is. My computer went a little goofy there for a second. I don't know what's going on. Everything on my end. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your video's froze, but I can hear you.
Yeah, my video's froze. I don't know what happened, but who knows? My computer's been doing that here lately. I've been running all kinds of scans looking for crap, and it's not finding anything. So I don't know. But I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight and going over these flyers and these cases, and just really want to start getting these people found and back to where they need to be. And it just starts with somebody doing the right thing and calling in what they know and getting that information in there. And that's what we're striving to do, is to get these cases out there so people will be encouraged to do that. So please do that. It'd be a big help to everybody to get these people found. And with that, I just want to say, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight so we can go over these cases and try to bring some folks home and solve some unsolved murders and bring some justice to them and their families and friends. And we pray every week, you just need to touch the right hearts so they'll do the right thing and stand up and say, this is what I know about this case, and get it in there. I'm a firm believer that somebody knows something. I just need to do the right thing and do it. And I just pray that they're encouraged to do so by watching the show and seeing what we're doing every week. And until we see each other next week, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. God bless, and amen.